And we were talking about the expectations for the Patriots, Stephon Diggs, when he's there and when he's going to officially get cleared and all these things. And, Bert's been pretty steadfast and hold your horses on this season. Let's not make this the season. He said that it would take a Jaylen Daniels-like performance from Drake Maye. And, there's just a ton of pressure on that guy this year. Because
and I don't rule that out completely, but
no.
I mean, I think it's, again, like I think you're asking a young quarterback to elevate everyone around him. It's a lot to ask. And I always go back to like what these guys what a lot of the best quarterbacks in the league walked into. Patrick Mahomes was drafted by a playoff team. Josh Allen was drafted by a playoff team. Lamar Jackson was drafted by a playoff team. Like they went to established places. Like Joe Burrow is probably the one outlier. But even him, like they drafted Jamar Chase his third year. You know what I mean? So, or his second year. So they wind up going to the Super Bowl. So it's just rare. It's just rare that you have like a young quarterback who comes in and just lifts everybody up.
Does Drake Maye compare like in his athleticism and size and everything to Joe Burrow? Like where would you put?
Yeah, I mean, I think he might be more physically gifted. Like Burrow's more gifted than people give him credit for. Burrow's he's like an all-state basketball player.
Right.
Really good athlete, and he's a big, strong, like if you get up next to Burrow, like he's built like a linebacker, and his brothers actually were linebackers at Nebraska. I think Drake, you could make the argument Drake might be a little bit more physically gifted than Burrow. To me, like Burrow is the most direct descendant of any of these guys to Brady because of just how fast he sees it, his feel for the game, his instincts, his ability to change. I mean, he's changed the face of the Bengals in a lot of ways. I think if you're talking about like physical ability, May might actually have it on Burrow by a little bit. Though again, the difference is that Burrow is like a supercomputer when it comes to football. Like he's, again, I think the most direct descendant of Brady of the guys that are playing now.
Based on how things are going so far in just back to the Patriots for a second in camp, that I heard some discussion about this last couple of days. Mood-wise, attitude-wise, vibe-wise, tough to get much of a gauge, but is it about what you expected under Mike Vrabel? Are things progressing in a way that seems to be jibing with what he was known for? Is it? I would not tough to say it should be improved from where things were, but is it as good as people were hoping for?
Now, let me start by saying, like, I felt like when Mike was in Tennessee, he was a top 10 head coach. So I had a high opinion of him to begin with. So when I say they're not exceeding expectations, my expectations of him as a head coach are high to begin with. But I think, like, this is sort of what I expected. I think coming out of the spring, you wanted to have a defined identity, a defined program, and you wanted to, if you go out there to the practice field, be able to look at something and say, like, this looks like a very professional operation. And, I haven't been down there, but, like, every single account I've gotten from, both, reading all the great people who cover the team and then also, like the people I've talked to down there, there's an efficiency to the way they're doing things that only happens when you've got a guy in there who's been a head coach before, and I think that's where Mike's 6 years of experience doing the job.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.